I'm Hannah Cunningham, Marketing Director at Cisilion, and I'm joined by Cisco UK Partner CTO, Rob Price. Welcome.
Thank you.
So Rob, when Cisco launched intent-based networking, it was all about reinventing the network. So why was this necessary?
Well, the basic premise, of course, is that if you're reinventing something, it's probably because it's no longer fit for purpose. And the reality is networking, the way we design, implement and operate networks, had remained pretty much unchanged for about the last 25 years. And that creates a problem. That 25-year-old design methodology doesn't meet the demands of the 21st century and the requirements that we need that network to meet. So firstly, users are much more mobile than they were 25 years ago. A standard user now expects to be able to access their data, their applications wherever they are, whenever they want to, via whatever device is most appropriate at that particular time. Secondly, IoT, or the Internet of Things, has given rise to many orders of magnitude more things being connected to our networks than ever were in the past. And not just laptops and desktops and servers and things like that, but now coffee machines and running shoes and air conditioners and IP connected light bulbs. So again, our networks are now considerably more congested than they were 25 years ago. And then of course you have to consider cloud. 25 years ago, you'd have had a data centre conveniently located right at the centre of your network, and that would have been where all of your data and applications resided, and everything would point at it. Today, those same data and applications could be residing in 100 different places. Some might be in a hyperscale provider like an Azure or an AWS. Some might be in an infrastructure as a service provider. Others might be in your private cloud, and others still might be pure software as a service like WebEx and Salesforce.com. How does that 25-year-old network design cope with all of those challenges? And the reality is it doesn't cope very well. And then just to add insult to injury, the whole of that environment is potentially under constant attack because of the prevalence of cybercrime.
So what does that look like?
Well, we still need to build our underlying network infrastructure. We still need our switches, our routers, our access points, etc., etc. The difference now is we're going to overlay onto that infrastructure a software fabric. And that's really important because it's at that layer, that software fabric layer, that we will now apply our policies and our intent, as in intent-based networking. What that will allow us to do is have a single intent. Maybe that intent is to change the security policy of an application or of a user, or maybe change the priority of a user or an application, and simply apply that policy once to the fabric from a controller, and then have that policy pushed down into all of the underlying infrastructure underneath. That has the benefit then of reducing massively the complexity of applying changes, which means they're much easier to do, which means we can make far better use of our network infrastructure than we could have in the past.